Hey, everybody. This is Zach Marzo. I have David Melman here. This is the Melman podcast. Appreciate everybody out there who is listening, watching, and engaging in what we're trying to do. We have a special guest on with us today. We're very excited. It's Miss Kenyetta Gordon. She has recently published a book that is available, obviously, to purchase now, and she's going to be talking about that a little bit more. I just wanted to welcome her, let her introduce herself a little bit about her background, how she got to this point. She can share a little bit about, what the book is, what the purpose of the book is, and kind of her mission with that. And we're going to jump into it from there. Nice to have you on, Kenyetta.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be on. It's an honor.
Of course.
We're excited to have you.
Yes.
So, share a little bit about, who is Kenyetta Gordon? What's your background? As little or as much as you want to share about who you are. And, we'll jump right in.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm Kenyetta Gordon. I am owner of Create the Brand. I'm a self-communication and leadership consultant, speaker, coach, and author. I work with sales teams and professionals to attract their ideal client and become what I like to say the choice and not the option. I recently, as I said, I recently released a book, so I'm so excited about that. It is called Command Your Presence, and it's the first of my series, Are You Your Walking Billboard? And it is now available on Amazon. And of course, you can get it on createthebrand.co, which is my site. My background is I've worked with a lot of individuals and startup businesses and dealing with brand strategy and business strategies, marketing development, PR, communications, everything,
Sure.
And so working with them step by step on figuring out pain points and how to help them expand more. But recently, I last year narrowed down my niche because I've seen a need which is more so in the sales industry. And so now I work with sales teams or sales professionals, and actually everyone is a sales professional. You don't have to have that title. We all are in sales. But working with them on how to communicate online and offline. And that's what Command Your Presence is about. It is a guide to effective sales communication online and offline. And I've been saying even before COVID came, are you prepared for the new era of business, the new era of business? I've been saying for over a year. And so now we are finally here. People are probably finally now they're like, oh my God, this is what we've been talking about. Yes, this is what I've been talking about because now we've made a shift and we've been forced to shift in a new way of doing business. And now a lot of sales professionals, they usually they're used to working physically, offline, one-on-one with prospects or clients. Now you have to learn how to communicate with them online to a world of people and figuring out how to convey your message to where it resonates with majority of people, and become the authoritative figure. That's what the book is about. It is teaching you to become the authoritative figure, and it's full of tips, literally it's like your Bible.
I love it. Sure.
Sure. When did you decide that you wanted to put a book together, with all the experience that you have in sales training and things like that? When did you, start brainstorming the idea to put it on paper?
I am so spur of the moment, and I guess being the marketer, the branding expert that I am, we usually ahead of the game,
Sure.
And so I created a training actually last year, and it's a self-paced training called Command Your Presence. And to me, marketing it's a lot of psychology and research to do strategy. And so you have to understand people's behaviors in the buying pattern, and you have to know that everyone's learning pattern is different. Some people like to read. Some people like things given to them. Some people like to just be hands-on. So I took that training that I did last year, which was actually June 30th. I was going through something. I was like, oh my God, this is June 31st of last year or something like that. And so I took the training and created it into a book. And then me going into, and it just puts that information out there. I just want to make sure I get the content to everyone as best as I could, however they could receive it, because it's great content. I'm like, I don't want to boast about myself, but it's great content, all the reviews that I've been getting. And it literally, I thought about the way I like to learn is I'm one of those people who are like, don't just tell me that I need to do this. I need to know why. Why? Otherwise, I'm going to be defined and I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do my own thing. But when you tell me the why and you give me the tips, then I'm like, oh, okay, so let me try and put this into action. So that's why I decided to create a book and give these whys to why you have to understand gestures. Why is word stressing and inflection important when you're speaking to people online and offline? Why is recognizing your facial expressions, or how can I not be camera shy? What are some reasons why? So that's how I came about with the book, and then I'm known for Are You a Walking Billboard? I've been saying that, and so people know me for that. So I took that, and then my other, I actually started writing another book. The cool. Part two.
Sure, of course.
That's step by step. Mm-hmm.
What is, I guess, your, not definition, but what is the top, 1, 2, 3 things to establish yourself as, someone says, are you a walking billboard? What boxes do I have to check to say, yes, I am a walking billboard? What should I be doing, whether that's, branding yourself and what you're wearing, or, communicating it to people in random places? Like, how do you become that walking billboard?
So that's actually my next list, but I'll give you a little tip on that.
Cool. Yeah. You give us the preview.
Sure.
Yes.
No, and it's awesome with what you say when you say everybody is a salesperson, because they are. Whether they're in any form of their business, I truly believe that, you could be an admin, or you could be an accounting at your business, but your presence in anywhere you are can potentially create that bridge to a sale or a close based on who you meet. So I think You're absolutely right when you say that, because we have clients and we have our employees that go to a Starbucks. Next thing you know, they're engaging with somebody there. They find out they're in an accident or something, and now they're a client of ours. Their job isn't to market. Their job isn't to sell, but it's just human interaction and being a human being, but also engaging with others and caring about what they have to say and listening. So you're absolutely right with that. I love that point you brought up.
Exactly, and that's why I like to say, I always use the quote I like to say is, no one becomes a loyal client because of an ad. They become a loyal client because of direct contact. It's understanding also your buyer's journey and the buyer's behavior. And so companies nowadays, I strongly believe, and I feel like a lot of companies, because of what we've recently gone through, are going to recognize this. Companies have to stop being afraid of letting their talent within the company become the brand themselves, should I say.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, you have to utilize social media. You should be utilizing LinkedIn. You should be utilizing Facebook. You should be utilizing whatever platform is best for you. And then also understand, even though you're in this huge company, understanding, okay, exactly who is my niche? Who am I targeting? Am I targeting the younger generation? So this is how I'm going to communicate that when I'm online. Because then when they come to the company, they're dealing with that person, and that determines whether or not they're going to stay with your company, and they're going to refer other potential clients to you.
100% agree.
Yeah.
And like you said, the psychology of what they think and how they are, because your approach with one specific potential client, it can't be the same with the other. So you need to really understand them. Some people enjoy being, when they talk, they enjoy being listened to for a long time. And the other person might be right to the point of, hey, this is what I want. can you make it happen? So you have to adjust your mindset on every potential prospect client you can potentially work with. If you have the same mindset for everybody, you're not gonna connect with a lot of them because everyone's not the same. So I like how you brought that up as well. It's a huge point. I think you need to adjust and kind of be like a little chameleon, and find out their sweet spot. Understand, listen, and another thing is, it's not just like fake listening. They're going to sense if you're being genuine and you're engaging and not just saying, yeah, engage, go back and forth, And I think if you can find that sweet spot with that conversation and they can actually see that you care about them, you're that much closer to the sale, you could say,
Right. And it goes into the question you asked me earlier. The question you asked me earlier. How do you begin to build your brand? How do you know to?
Right.
And the first thing I'd like to talk about is self-awareness. Before you can begin building a brand, you must first know yourself and be confident in yourself and your product, and know the product that you're delivering, because others can sense that. So self-awareness goes into building, like we said already. First, you build the brand. I like to call it the blueprint. That's what I like to say, the blueprint,
Sure.
before you build a foundation in the home. But it's also recognizing, okay, asking others, how did you feel when you first interacted with me, when we first met? Whether it's your colleagues or whatever. Going back and looking at some of your old videos, maybe asking people, what is something that I can do different, especially if you're not getting as much engagement on those videos.
Sure.
How are you interacting online? Not online, but in networking events. And then it's a 6-stage step. It's just 6 steps to becoming the choice and not an option.
Okay.
And so, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm listening. I love it. Go ahead, continue. Yeah.
And then I like to also talk about one of the stages is the senses. I call it the senses. But in other words, I call it what psychologists call it the happy hormone. What do people hear, see, and feel when they interact with you? And the happy hormones, you know what that is, right?
Yep.
Sure.
Exactly. And understanding, like, the first thing that when people first interact with you, you shake your hand or you smile, and it makes the potential, the prospect or your client or whatever feel a certain way. So making sure that you're smiling, because a lot of times when people are talking on camera too, they're like this and they're like, "Well, I felt like I was smiling," and you're like, "Well, go back and look at that." Yep. And then the monotone,
Sure.
And then also understanding the tone and the mood of your brand that you're delivering, and that's a huge thing. What do people feel when they constantly interact? Do you make people feel happy, sad? Do you make them feel bored? Do you make them feel angry, excited? And then being consistent with that every time they interact with you. So there's so much that goes. There's a lot, positioning, everything. The next book will be out by August.
Okay.
Yes, by August, because I'm actually speaking in a conference. I'm making sure I have it done by then.
Sure. And I can sense your passion in what you talk about, and that's one of the senses. I can sense that you care, you're engaged, and you really enjoy what you do. And I'm a big believer in you only have one chance to have a first impression. So, like you brought up, these the marketing events or networking events, right? We go to a lot of them in our business, and there's people there that we keep seeing, and there are some people, though, that go there to get drunk, and they're drinking, and then it's just sloppy. There's others that go there on the mission to, create new relationships. Others are going there to nurture current relationships, So what is your mission? But then also that first impression, I'm a big believer in that. You only have one chance for first impression, If I see you being rude to the waiter, because you're across table from me, but then 10 minutes later you come over and you recognize me from somewhere else, I already don't want to engage with you. I don't like it. My circle is, I want to have people around me that are good people, right? So don't give me a false, first impression when I already watched you being, rude or just not a good person, So it takes one chance for me to really feel you out. When it comes to human interactions with others. That's how I am, at least. Maybe I'm wrong for it. Maybe I can.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? maybe
I'm the same way.
yeah, and that's how I am, maybe they were having a bad day, but even people that have bad days shouldn't be rude to other people that are, and human interaction and how you interact with other people. And when I watch it, that's the truest sign for me on how they are as a person when they don't think I'm watching them. So that's just how I am,
Exactly. So you know that everything that you do, if someone once asked me, do you have two different, do you have a business persona and a regular? I'm like, no, because eventually the shades are going to come off. You cannot keep a facade,
Sure.
So it's good to be authentic. And we're in a world nowadays where authenticity is like top notch. You have to be authentic. People want to know exactly who you are. And people are attracted to certain, like me. My thing is, I used to be like very, very shy, but my friends didn't think I was shy, So doing something like this was not. So I had to come out of that and feel the true me, the persona that I really am. And so I took a lot of things from that I would see with other professionals that I worked with that I didn't like, but I wanted to give that to other people.
Right.
And I had to just bring that out of me, that true me out of me, So, and then this is how I'm doing that. It's 24/7. So I'm like, you know what, Jay, you're going to love me or you're not going to love me. Otherwise, we're just not going to do this together. But you're going to love me anyway. So
I love that, and it's you, and it takes time to break through that shell, and nobody could just go on camera right away. Myself personally, I'm not a big fan of it, and I gradually got better. Zach, on the other hand, he enjoys it. He loves it. So everyone has their own comfort level, but if they're, if they're in an environment where they can gradually get better and better and feel better about themselves, it's, the sky's the limit on what you can do and how many people you can talk in front of. And I know one of the points in your book were, engaging with people and, large numbers of people and being scared or not being scared, stage fright, I guess, So that's another hurdle that people have to achieve to be more confident when it comes to speaking to others, because you are, I saw that.
Yeah, because a lot of stuff that I talk about is things that I went through.
Sure.
Because I believe a great teacher teaches from experience.
Of course.
And so even for myself or for clients that I've seen, so I've just taken everything and put it into a book. So with the camera confidence, a lot of times what we're afraid of, we're not afraid of getting on camera. We're afraid of what's on the other side of the camera. What are other people thinking? And at the end of the day, you have to remember, people are coming to your page, they're coming to listen to you speak, they're coming, to conferences, networking, because they feel like you are an authoritative figure. You have some information to give to them. So you have to tell yourself, I will not fail. I'm not going to fail myself. I'm not going to fail my potential clients, my followers, anyone. Because people are coming to me because they know that I am the authoritative figure in this area. And they need the information to take from me. So, one of the tricks I like to say is I like to call it the Diane Sawyer method.
Nice.
So, if you're on camera and have a friend stand on the other side, if you have a friend, have them stand on the other side of the camera and you just talk to them, as if you're talking straight to the camera.
Sure.
Or put a mirror up and talk to yourself through the mirror.
That's very cool. That's very different. People are they're more scared of the fear of it than actually doing it. And I think people, once they actually start doing it, they're like, that wasn't so bad. And then they just start, all the noise out there and all the, haters, so to speak. It's going to happen. It's going to come. But, at the end of the day, our purpose is to, give valuable information to people. And if they want to be negative about it, then, that's cool. But we're going to still keep on moving.
Right. Because you have to remember, everyone is not for you. Everyone in the world is not going to be your client. And you have to be okay with that. In order to be a great self-professional, a great professional, a great leader, you have to understand, or you have to be able to receive no, and you have to be able to know that everyone's not going to always agree with you. So that's where remember I said the first stage is self-assurance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're confident in yourself and what you have to offer, those things will not bother you. It's going to help you to go harder and stronger and be that great person that you are, because those will take something from that no and learn from it to build your next level success.
Correct. And it's really cool sometimes when, I guess, the haters or the people that, that was my fear, to be honest. People are going to question and they're going to, look at this person, fat, skinny, whatever it is, hairy, not hairy. They're going to find anything to make you feel bad. That might be their way of feeling good about themselves, whatever it is. But it's really cool when those people that are haters, eventually they start seeing you and they see you're genuine and they become not haters anymore. They're for you. And I think that's really cool when you can convert that in terms of positive thinking. And then eventually they're like, hey, this person is real. And the points that they're talking about, I can relate to some of them, because sometimes people are just not comfortable with themselves, and that's their way of, making themselves feel good. I don't know. But I just think as long as you're genuine, people can sense that. You have the right to be scared to go in front of a lot of people or a camera or one-on-one sales pitch. It's scary when you're going to a potential prospect knowing that you have to make the sale. And if you don't make it, well, your bosses might be angry at you, or you might not hit that bonus to the next level of this is the sale that you need to hit to get to that other tier of a bonus, And there are butterflies and goosebumps, but if you can go in there with your mindset of knowing the senses, understanding the prospect, and knowing, just getting that down, I think it can make that transaction easier and potentially you can close the deal.
Exactly. And one thing that, if you don't mind tapping into one of my favorite chapters of the book.
Sure.
And it's a short read too.
Sure.
It's a short read, but it's straight to the point. I like to talk about inflections, word stress. Because people they just want the content. They want the content. Regardless if they get haters or whatever. If you're giving great content, guess what, they're going to listen. But understanding how important word stressing and inflection is when you're speaking to someone. In the book I describe it as giving subliminal messages. When I was younger, I remember they talked about how the cartoons, the Disney cartoons and stuff, they gave these subliminal messages, and parents didn't want to listen to it because of what it was saying. And so then you go back and rewind it so you can listen to exactly what the subliminal message is. I hear it. And that's how it is when you're speaking to people in public speaking events. If you're actually interacting one-on-one with a client, it's understanding what words to stress and inflect on, because it tells them, I need to grab onto this information a lot longer than all the other information that she's giving me.
Sure.
So that's vital. That is definitely vital. A good little trick to actually, close deals, get people to be on board with what you have to say, and be like, you know what, you're right. Let me do some research. I might want to try that.
I think that, I don't know if this relates to, word stress as you mention it in the book, but you have to be, like you were saying with being self-aware, you have to be aware and focused and listening to know, feel this person out, feel their energy out. And I've used the tactic of mirroring, which I think I originally first heard from Tony Robbins, because he said, to relate to somebody, if you don't know who the heck they are, but if they're sitting, they're laid back, they're super relaxed, then, you can be a little bit more relaxed. If they're like super to the point and, prim and proper, sitting upright, not swearing, not using any types of jokes, then, maybe you shouldn't. Because if you're mirroring their behavior, you're more likely to connect with them. Or if they use the word fantastic, when you start using the word fantastic, it just, something's happening there where you can relate to them a little bit more, which I've used in the past to try to connect to people. Because some people just are like, I don't know what to say or how to connect or whatever. But I think that the mirroring, or like you're saying, stressing certain words in conversation can be very helpful.
Mm-hmm. And I like to say, people want to do business with those they look like or those they want to be like.
True.
But in regards to that too, I like, in sales, I like to say using what I call the sandwich method: sympathy versus empathy plus compassion. And what you're talking about is that empathy, making yourself relatable.
Sure.
And a lot of times we go straight from sympathy and we go straight to compassion, and we leave out the empathy. And the empathy is what builds that relationship. It makes you relatable. It makes people like, oh, we're just like, we're on the same page. You understand me, you know?
Sure. That's huge. It's, you know, it's absolutely crucial, especially to the formula you just said. If you're missing one part of it, it's not going to work. It's going to fall apart. You know, you can't miss a crucial part. Absolutely. I like that. No, I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the empathy, like you're talking about, you know, for us and or it could be any business, you know, a lot of times people look at the business like, oh, you guys are, you know, you're making money, blah, 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 blah. But like you said, if you can relate to somebody on a personal level, you know, to say that, you know, you're doing the best you can and you're trying to relate to them on a personal level, and be, you know, empathetic, like you're saying, to their situation, and they feel that, you know, they're more likely to connect with you and not just think that, you know, the hell with you, so to speak. So I agree with that entirely. And compassion and passion, you know, for short, we talk about a lot, because if you have the energy and the passion behind what you're doing, you know, that has to be there. You can't be selling something online or in person that you really don't feel good about. It's so difficult to do. You have to fake it. So I always say, you know, you have to really enjoy and be sold on what you're selling. And then it just becomes easy. You know, we say it all the time. We're selling our service, and it's easy because we're genuine and we're honest. Like it's just all facts. So it's easy to sell.
Right. And I mean, it's going to show whether or not you're being fake. You know, people don't want to be just another quota, you know, in your monthly, another number in your monthly quota.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
100%.
They want to feel like you genuinely care. And if you don't have the answer to something, people will respect you saying, you know what, let me get back with you on that. I promise you, give me about, 24 hours and I will have an answer for you. Versus you saying, yeah, I can do that for you, and you really can't. They'll respect you a lot more. I'm like, you know what, they're very honest.
Sure.
I want to stay with them, I want to give them a try.
Yeah, 100%. So you say you have obviously your book that's out now. You said basically in August, that is the kind of next chapter, for lack of a better word, in your life, is this new book that's coming out in the future, which is really cool. How can people find you, follow you, to either check out your book now or kind of keep track of what you're doing, so that they can, look forward to the future and what else you have going on?
So you can go to createthebrand.co. I'm on LinkedIn, Kenyetta L. Gordon. But if you go on createthebrand.co, you'll see all my social media links there: Facebook, LinkedIn, everything. All my events that I'm doing. I'm actually doing an actual workshop. If you have the book, I've been told, if you have the book, you really gotta want to actually sit with me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a live webinar. So on May 20th, I'm doing a live webinar on Create the Brand. She actually breaks everything down to you and use exercises and practices. But also in August, I'm speaking at one of the best top 10 according to Google conferences that's here in Atlanta. It's coming here in Atlanta.
Cool.
It's called Outbound Conference. So I'll be speaking there August. It was supposed to be actually this week coming up, but because of COVID, it's pushed back to August 11th to the 15th. So you can catch me there as well. But the book, Amazon. But Amazon, I guarantee you, it's very insightful. You're going to love it.
That's awesome. No, we're looking forward to that. Stay connected. Let us know when that book comes out in August. We'd love to see that. And even the speaking conference we're speaking to as well. Send us some info. We'd love to follow and continue to engage and see how that goes, okay? I think that's awesome.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I was excited to come on here with you guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for taking the opportunity to do it. People are scared and they see our content and, you commented like, hey, I'd love to be on. And that's what it's about, not just bringing people on that we only know. Like this is the first time we've met you and we're connecting and it's awesome. And this is what this is about, helping local businesses, listening to them, learning from them. And then also, you have some amazing content you're sharing as well. And this is exactly what it's about. So we're thankful that you took that chance and you joined us today. We really are.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Sure. Have a great day. Thank you.
You too. Have a great one.
Thanks, Kenyetta.
Bye.
Thank you.